I think it's really important for everybody to know what a certificate of insurance is. And what that is a snapshot in time of insurance coverages for an insured. So it gives you a summary of the coverages they have: general liability, workers' compensation, maybe some property. It also can add description of coverages that might be there or attached, such as additional insured status or waivers of subrogation. Anytime there is a change in the policy in terms of limits of insurance and or coverage dates. Another time you might need an updated certificate of insurance is if there's a new project or project location for a particular client. In terms of contractors or projects or even building owners, you're spending a lot of time and effort trying to win work. The last thing you're looking at are the insurance conditions. So the insurance conditions are most often reviewed last, if they're reviewed at all. This can present conditions that are additional in cost. They are impossible to obtain and may actually impede you in signing the contract or moving forward with the work at all. One of my contractors sent to me a certificate that they needed for a new job. And this job is a huge HOA complex of 70 buildings, and there's 40 units in each building, and it's all obviously residential. And so they sent the request over, and we, completed it, sent it back, and all of a sudden there's an email back saying, hey, can you comply with these? The certificate doesn't share that the insurance covers that we require. And they sent us a sample certificate that they wanted done. It required $2 million more in limits than they had, and they weren't going to be led on the project. And this was an $18,000 mistake. They signed the contract. The requirements were in the contract. They only sent me the request for a certificate of insurance. And so if we had been able to see that beforehand, we can point out and say, hey, you know what, everything complies, you're low here. Would you like us to go ahead and see if we can get this coverage for you and what the costs are? Or can you negotiate this out of the contract before you sign it? Is it necessary? So if you knew it was in there, you could put it into your bid, or you could ask for a change order. Say, hey, we didn't notice this. This is going to cost us this much additional. How do we take care of this? Will you waive it? Will you, burden the cost? Can we split it? There's all different ways to get around that. Every contract is negotiable. So it's okay for you to go back and say, hey, you know what? This requirement seems to be too much. Are you sure you want us to do that? Because we're not going to be able to do it for that cost. Our own insureds, our own client can be the ones that are creating the risks themselves. And so what we do is we review with them, are you collecting certificates of insurance for your vendors or your subcontractors? Are you collecting or asking to be named additional insured on their policies?